Shalom, shalom, YouTube. My name is Lucas Blake. I also go by Sunrise Poet. Welcome to the next video of Minecraft as we usher in New Earth into the digital world. I would just want to say thank you all for being here. Thank you all for coming in and joining me on this journey as I start the foundations of this wonderful new project to glorify God all across the Minecraft community. Now, to start things off, first of all, I would like to say I am because I realized I didn't really introduce myself very much in the first video. I just kind of gave some like simple foundations of what the goal was and what I really was trying to do and like trying to accomplish here. But I need to really kind of touch base with everyone and just kind of let you know where I come from and what my walks of life are. So like I said, my name is Lucas Blake. I'm a full-time minister and I also am a musician. Shout out to YouTube here. This is my official artist channel. You are welcome to check out my music. You are also welcome to check out my TikTok at sunrise period poet. You can also follow me on X at sunrise underscore poet. And you can also add me on Facebook. You can find me if you look up Lucas T. Blake. You'll see a picture of myself with the same photo picture I use here on YouTube. And that would be me. If you see the guy posting all the stuff about the glory of God, that would be me. So, like I said, this a little bit about myself. I'm a father of 4 children, and I just want to interrupt here. As you can see, this is a creative world right now. I am using this in creative mode at the moment, just so I can, start building the foundations of what I want the world to start as. And then I will be moving this over into a survival realm, a full-time survival realm. Anyone will be welcome to join. Anybody will be welcome to build here. Anyone will be welcome to come in and just enjoy these builds and to build and add on to it because this is going to be a massive community. I want anyone and everyone to be able to come here and be able to just have a safe community where we can talk about God, we can talk about Jesus Christ, we can talk about our hobbies and get to know each other, and we can just all build together and create I want this entire community to go across the entire map here, the entire world of this world here. And I have to say, this world, as you'll see as I fly around and look at some things, because I hadn't really had a chance yet at the beginning of this video to go around and really look at the surrounding areas of what was around. This is a phenomenal world that spawned, and I am at spawn point now. This is where spawn was, is where I'm building the farm. And just the spawn point alone was magnificent, but when I really started like exploring around this place, I mean, wow, there is some really amazing just landscape and just some really amazing just pre-made villages that were around here. And I just feel truly blessed through God to get such a magnificent world to spawn. That being said, I'll go back to what I was saying earlier. So I'm a dad. I'm a father of 4 kids, and I have 2 boys, 2 girls. My oldest son now is about 13, 14 years old. Unfortunately, I do not get to see him. I Long story short, I was young, I was dumb, made some mistakes, and he was better off with his mother. And not that I don't love my son dearly, and I pray all the time to be able to have that connection again. And one day perhaps I will, and hopefully we will be able to rebuild from that point again. And I look forward to that very much, because I would love to know my firstborn as well as I know my other 3 children. Now, my other 3 children are, like I said, I have another son. His name is Archer, and Archer is a wonderful boy. He absolutely adores Minecraft, and he was actually the biggest inspiration that I've ever had when it came to just deciding to do this. Aside from, God and being led by God and this being a calling to me on God to do this, like the inspiration that comes from me is my son because my son loves Minecraft and my son loves to build in Minecraft and we have our own world that we build together in, and we have come up with some really cool things. And I noticed that my son really likes to watch Minecraft YouTube videos, and nothing against those videos, but I've noticed a couple of the other content creators, they tend to mix in a little bit of more adult things that I feel is just not really appropriate for children. So that was really the big inspiration behind it, about delivering wholesome content, positive content, and just content that really glorifies Jesus and really ushers in just the beauty of Christ. Because, Jesus is the way, He is the truth and the life. And through Jesus in my own personal journey, I wasn't always a very nice guy. And I made a lot of mistakes. And, like we all do, we all make mistakes. And coming to know Christ and growing my relationship in Christ, that's where all this compassion and all that love comes from, is Jesus. So I just really want to take this chance to just really glorify Jesus and just really put him up on the center stage here for the true inspiration behind these builds and what's really driving my creativity and really driving my aspirations to making this wonderful content for everybody to enjoy. So that being said, my other kids, I have two daughters as well. I have Lily and I have Jacqueline, my two beautiful daughters, and they are both very very different in their own ways, but extremely sweet. Lily is more my spooky girl. She's really into Venom right now, and she's really into bats and into the spooky stuff. She's definitely a spooky girl, and she's a little bit of a tomboy, which I love her for. There's nothing wrong with that. I love that she likes to go outside and get dirty and doesn't mind, getting involved with anything. Like, she is definitely my silent observer, but the go-getter at all in one. And I just want to take a moment to say I love you, Archer, and I love you, Lily, and I love you, Jacqueline. You three have been the most absolute biggest blessings in my entire life. You inspire me more than you could ever know to be the best dad I could ever be for you. And that being said, I just want to take another I just want to kind of go into Jacqueline now. Jacqueline is my youngest. She's 3 years old. And she is, oh my goodness, you want to talk about a diva. She is such a girly girl. She loves pink. She loves cats. Very much my girly girl, and she is such a sassy little thing. I want to say she got it from me, and she probably did. But that being said, Jacqueline is just an absolute sweetheart, but she's got a sassy side about her for sure. She's definitely got a little bit of a diva streak in her, but I wouldn't have her any different. She definitely is my love bug. She loves people. She loves everybody, everyone. I've never seen this girl be rude or mean to any person that we've ever met. Any strangers, she will hug a stranger in a heartbeat. She just has such a huge heart on her, and such a just a magnificent heart, and she absolutely is just amazing. And I couldn't ask for better children. I really could not ask for better children. Now, my son, Archer, I kind of gave a little backdrop about my other kids. Archer is just, he is such a sweet boy. He has a very big heart. He's a lot like his dad. Uh, that being said, he can also be a bit out there, a little outgoing, a little loud, a little overzealous at times, like his dad. But his heart's always in the right place, and he's always looking after his sisters, and he's looking after his mother, and he's looking after his family, and he always tries to come from the best spot he can. And I'm not saying we all don't make mistakes, but his heart is always in the right place. And my son, I can already tell you, is going to grow up to be such a wonderful man, and I can just feel that deep in my soul. That being said, my firstborn, Drayden, I couldn't tell you too much about Drayden, obviously not seeing him for the periods of time that I have, from 2 years old. And I know that sounds sad, but I always hold on to a deep hope and deep respect of the Lord, that I will know him one day, and I'll get to see the awesome young man that he has become, and get to have that relationship with him. And I would want nothing more ever than that. Besides, having all of my kids together and knowing each other and just being a happy family. So that being said, a little bit more about myself. I just turned 34 years old. Uh, but that being said, I look like I'm 12. Uh, if I were to, excuse me, if I were to, mm, excuse me, if I were to shave my beard. I very much am told I look like a kid myself, and I'm very much a kid at heart. I love to play, I love to have fun, I love to just have a good time. And to me, that's very kid-like nature. I find wonderment in a lot of things. Like I get really excited about just simple things, and just the sweet. I've noticed in life that it's always, I'm one of those people that appreciate the small things in life. But I like to add on to that. It's the small things that add up together to make the big things. It takes all of the small things to really bring in just the amazingness of the big things that follow. That being said, I this is just a big project here that I really just am wanting to try my best and gonna bring into fruition here. I'm not stopping. There is no try my best. We're gonna do this. We're doing this thing. And the whole purpose, what I want to do here, is to bring a new. This concept comes from the Bible itself, of new earth. Bringing in new earth and the kingdom of heaven being brought down onto earth to reflect the heavens. And so the goal here is to create a digital version of that, a virtual version of that on Minecraft. I want to I just want to put God into everything that I do here and everything that I'm building. I want God to be influenced directly by God to create just some of the best work ever. And I realize, the body of Christ, that's going to require community. That's going to require everybody that would, and I'm not saying everybody has to join, but to those of us that would love to be a part of this, who just really love pouring their all into their amazing builds, pouring all of their creativity into it, and no cutting corners, and they really want to build something magnificent for everybody to see. And that's what this world's about. That's what this world is going to be absolutely about, is putting all of that creativity, all that God-given creativity into everything we do to just bring glory to God. So that being said, mostly what today's video is centered about is, before I even get into that, let me just keep going on and introducing myself, because I really want the community to have a solid foundation on who I am, what I do, and where I come from. So as I mentioned, I'm a full-time minister. I minister on live video on TikTok, and as I said, that's at sunrise period poet on TikTok. And I do that live every Tuesday and Thursday, God willing. Things sometimes life happens, sometimes things shift, but usually it's every Tuesday and Thursday around 5 to 6 p.m. Central Time. You're welcome to follow me on TikTok. You're welcome to join in on those sermons and the me sharing the love and the compassion of Jesus Christ. That being said, I'm also a musician. I write God-given music, and I am produced through TuneCore. And TuneCore, as you can see, it distributes for me here on my official artist page. So shout out to TuneCore for that. I appreciate you guys. You have been nothing but good to me. Very, very good, very just really awesome people. People I've communicated with in customer service have been nothing but friendly and very helpful, because I'm gonna be real with you. I'm not like a producer. I mean, I produce my own music, yes, through a online program. I Right now it's kind of a mixture of both AI influenced programming, but also my own God-given lyrics. So God gives me the lyrics, and He has given me the tools I need to develop in my music career and to help me get that courage, to help me find that strength. He brought me to a program called Suno, and so I would put in the God-given lyrics into Suno. He would give me the prompts to really kind of go for that would go towards my sound. And in the very beginning, when I first started doing these, Suno allows you to upload your own voice and upload your own melodies and things of that nature. It's a really good program. It's essentially having a studio at home with AI assistance for everyone who would be, technologically, you know, adept in those sort of things. But what Suno was amazing about me is I made one of my first songs I ever made. I uploaded my voice, my singing, and a couple of strums on a guitar, which I could barely play, and went off those particular foundations and then going for the specific prompts and sounds that I was going for, they produced one of my first pieces, and it literally brought tears to my eyes because I could feel the soul in it. I could feel the presence of God. And like it really kind of like rubbed me wrong at first because it was like this felt like it was cheating. It felt like it was like it just wasn't authentic. But like listening to it was the confirmation I needed. It literally touched my soul to the point it brought tears to my eyes, and it brought inspiration. It brought the admiration to continue developing. And since then, I've gotten a guitar, a better guitar. I had a more of a cheap Timu guitar that wasn't very good, and now I have an Ibanez, and I've been really putting in that work and practicing my singing to really match those pitches and being able to have my own voice to match pitch to. It's just been amazing. So, and then now I can actually play the guitar, I can actually sing, and it's all was just steps provided to me by the Lord to help inspire me to continue growing in that path. So, yeah, you could definitely check out that music there. If you have any other questions about that, feel free to comment and I will gladly comment. Or if you have any questions at all about what I'm trying to do here or about myself, I'm an open book. You're welcome to ask. Honesty is a big aspiration for me, is being honest and transparent. I don't want to come out here and, especially as a child of God that's, promoting truth and promoting God and promoting transparency. I don't want to come in here and just, be deceptive about anything. So yeah, a lot of my music is a mixture of both God-given lyrics and and some of my own raw talent mixed with AI to help finish the delivered composition, to deliver a finalized piece that will be used to touch people's souls and to really help people feel the presence of God in the music. That being said, I will always continue aspiring to grow in my musical talents with the Lord, and hopefully one day, AI will not be required at all if when the Lord puts the right people into my life to help me further develop. Because like I mentioned with the community and what I'm trying to do here on Minecraft, that is very much the same thing with the music. The Lord brings us brothers and sisters. We are known as the body of Christ. And he brings us brothers and sisters so that we can lean upon each other to continue developing our faith. And he already has put the hint in my ear about a certain gentleman who is a music artist who is also another brother in Christ. And I've been praying that he brings that man to me and we can learn from one another and he can show me what he has learned in his music career. And a very well established musician. He can play all sorts of instruments, not just the guitar. His name is Barry, and I'm really looking forward to working with Barry. Not only that, but Barry can speak biblical Hebrew, and I'm going to be asking Barry if he would also be interested in helping me learn biblical Hebrew, just because I want to be able to read the scriptures in the original language they were written in, so I can fully just kind of just immerse myself into what it must have been like being there in that time and reading it in their own language and speaking it in their own language. I feel like there's a sense of power to that, just a sense of understanding to that, and how deep it really is to really understand like the people that lived in that time and how they spoke and the words that they used. I just feel like that really helps people connect to one another. When you can learn somebody else's language and communicate with them, it creates like a really deep fundamental bond between you and that person. Like the fact that even though you might come from a different walk of life, and speak a different language, that you can unite and you can become one together under a spoken word. And I feel like there's just a lot of power to that. So that being said, those are the current aspirations. I do a lot of content on TikTok. I actually do a lot more content on TikTok than I do here. I deliver prophetic word for the Lord on TikTok a lot. I've slowly started transitioning over here to YouTube, but I'll admit I've been slacking. I mean, to be honest with you, when it comes to the whole social media aspect to it, I've been waiting for the Lord to bring in the right people that I can trust to work with my social medias to just kind of keep like in track of everything that I'm doing because I'm working through X, I'm working through Facebook, I'm working through YouTube, I'm working through TikTok. I've got a Patreon. There are so many platforms that I'm on, like Instagram, not to mention, all the artist platforms like Spotify and Pandora and Amazon, and just keeping track of all that stuff when you're like a one-man army under Christ. It can be a little overwhelming at times. So I just want to I want to apologize ahead for advance for delays in releasing of content, especially like my sermons lately and more music, because I have to kind of work my way around the board, so to speak. I got to spend days working on TikTok, and then I got to spend days working on Facebook, then I spend days working on YouTube, and I just kind of work my way around the circle. So if you have a silence from me, don't worry. I'm getting right back around. It's like one big circle of life, and I will eventually get my way back around to this platform until I have a more solid foundation of people in my life that can help me balance these sort of things. So that being said, a little bit more about myself. I had a very long, dark walk prior in life. I won't go too deep into that right on this particular content, just because this is kids' content, and I don't want to put anything out there that might be considered offensive or disrespectful to other parents. If obviously if you feel that's something you would want your child to expose to as far as like testimony goes and sharing walks of life, I can refer, we can I can refer you to a different channel. That's what I've been really feeling is I need to make a secondary channel and really kind of separate, what is considered more for adults to talk about when it comes to Jesus and the adult problems we face. But also I want to be able to spread Jesus because we are called to, deliver Jesus to our children. For if we give them Jesus in their early life, they will always have Jesus. They will never forget him even when they're older in life. So that's really what I'm just here to do is to spread that message of Jesus and create a content that my children themselves can enjoy. Because like I said, my son and my daughter, they all love watching Minecraft videos together because you get to see some really awesome builds. So what today's video is really about is me. I'm just gonna kind of go over the whole plan and so far I've been doing and what I'm gonna be working towards and what I'm gonna be working at. So today, as you notice, there was a lot of light boxes, a lot of frog lights that are just kind of laid all out in random areas. Those were all actually markers that I had placed to indicate dirt paths. And as you can see, I'm going around and I'm putting in all these dirt paths to just start interconnecting everything. And you'll notice as I'm filling in, I'm trying to keep things a little more natural. Eventually, I'll come back and replace some of these dirt blocks with grass. That way, it's a little bit more flowing. Like I said, I'm just getting the general blocks put down and what I want to. And as you see, I'm flying back here and I'm getting a look at it from what it looks like and just kind of going from there. And then I'm getting rid of these old frog lights because they don't need to be there anymore. And I'm really just I'm trying to not overthink anything right now because this is the early stage. I want the solid foundation like really put down first before I worry about going back and adding more texture. Because don't get me wrong, I'm gonna upload a couple of other videos from the world that me and my son built together, and just some of the deep intricate builds that I do. I put all sorts of texture into my builds, using different blocks to really create texture and depth and creating just making it just really beautiful builds. I have a castle I would love to share with you guys that I built for the kids. And that being said, that'll be in another video, so stay tuned for that one. I'll probably do like a quick, probably like 15-20 minute video on that one that kind of goes over all the stuff like my kids and I have built together as a family. And like we have a house for Lily, we have a house for Archer, a house for Dad, Mom, all of us. It's something we have all played together. And I think that's just beautiful when your family can come together and do something together as a family. So as I'm building all this stuff, I've got general ideas of where I want what. If you kind of look up at the top left there, you'll see those frog lights that are going towards the sky like a pillar. Uh, those indicate those type of markers, the ones that just go straight up like that. Those are indicators for buildings where I want to put particular structures in. And that particular structure up there ahead of us is going to be another plot of farmland. So where I'm at currently in this particular area of the map, I want a lot of farmland here. And that being said, there's going to be a lot. There's going to be so many different things that I'm building here. There's going to be mines. There's gonna be towers. There's gonna be I've got a couple of lighthouses that you'll see that I put in already. Just kind of the base structure of those lighthouses. I've got a church. I got a base structure of a church put in, and a chapel as well. That being said, that's as far as structures go. Aside from the three lighthouses, the church, and the chapel, those are really the only structures that I've really put into place. And I've only, oh, in the farm, I've got a farm building over here to the left, as you'll see here in a minute. To the where that zombie's walking, as he just fell into the grill. But that building up there to the left with the brick roof on it, that's gonna be one of the farmhouses. It's gonna be, or that's gonna be the barn actually. So I'm feeling maybe the structure here in front of me. I'm thinking I might put the actual barn house there, and then just kind of start putting fields all around the pathways here. So if you have any suggestions, like how do you guys feel about that? You know, putting the actual barn house in front of me up here where that pillar is, and then having the barn over here, and then just kind of putting farmland in all the way around these paths. So let me know in those comments. I love to read the comments. I love hearing constructive criticism. I love hearing ideas. I really I like community support. You know, feel free to voice those opinions. Feel free to let me know what you think. And as you see, I got a couple of lines here that go across. These are going to be bridges that I put in. And wait till you see this next video I'm going to be putting out about the castle I built. I love building bridges. I love to build bridges, and I love to build massive structures. And that being said, I really cannot wait to get to the actual building stage of this world. Because right now I'm actually doing the thing I don't like the most, which is putting in like pathways and putting in just steps and stuff like that, and kind of general, you know, travel ways. That's actually the most boring thing for me to do, but it's glorifying to God, and I appreciate it. And every building needs a good path connected to it. So that being said, um, I really like to start here because it gives me an idea of the flow and the direction I want things to go, and what needs to be connected, and so forth. That being said, I'm just kind of going in here now and just kind of fine tuning some parts of the path. As then I come back and up here and look, I always check out, see how my paths are looking. That has a really nice natural flow to it. Doesn't feel too rigid. Doesn't feel too. It feels natural, you know. It doesn't feel like a grid, so to speak. And me personally, even though I do like to build on those axes to have everything nice and straight sometimes, I am definitely not shy, as you'll see with one of my castles. I am not scared to build on a diagonal access and to have diagonal buildings. As like, you know, and that can be really challenging for a lot of things, especially when you're building windows and you're building certain things. It can be very, very challenging to get those to look right. And that's something that I've always enjoyed doing, is building on a diagonal axis. So can't wait to show you guys some of that, and see what you guys think about it. So you know, I realize too that this might be super boring to some people, but I've heard a lot of people say that just hearing me talk, you know, it can be very soothing and very calming. So, and I realize a lot of people like myself, I would turn on Minecraft videos with specific content creators that just had like a very calm voice to them. They were very, you know, just compassionate about what they do. And I realize a lot of these people, including myself, watch these types of Minecraft videos to fall asleep to. So you're welcome to turn these. That's why I'm making these particular videos upwards to an hour long, if not longer, because hey, just go to sleep. Enjoy the relaxing builds. So I just come here and start putting dirt paths in, and just you're welcome to go to sleep and nod off, and whatever helps. You know, there was a lot of nights where I could not sleep, and I found out that putting on a Minecraft video was like one of those things that just really helped me get a good night's sleep. And that being said, before you nod off, if you haven't already, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. That way you can always keep up to date with brand new content. The likes is for just to help keep this channel growing, and subscribing, of course, if that one means a big deal to me, being a subscriber, because that just helps elevate this platform. And my whole point for this platform is to elevate God. So if you subscribe and you like and you comment and you engage with this content, that really helps bring more people in to receive the word of God, to receive good content, good wholesome content, and just to help receive, maybe just an easygoing night where we just need a nice calming Minecraft video to fall asleep to. So thank you guys for doing that. I really appreciate you, and I really appreciate you being with me here on this journey and staying tuned. If you're still awake at this point, thank you so much for staying awake and just vibing with me and getting to know me. So kind of back to like what I was saying before about what I really want to do here is I just really want to put in this new Eden, this new brand new earth, and just really bringing that into fruition and creating a solid community where everybody can work together like we are meant to do, brothers and sisters united under the body of Christ, and working together and bringing the glory of Christ to the world. And that being said, like this, I want this to be a safe place. I want this to be a safe heaven on earth for people to come together and not worry about, drama and disrespect and people bullying each other and putting each other down. People can actually just come together and just share things that they want to share, and bring some love and bring some positivity to the world, because I'll tell you what, the world has enough drama. There is so much drama in the world. It's surreal. A lot of these platforms monetize off drama because drama is a big thing that people kind of feed for, it seems like. So I want to prove that love can do the same thing. Where drama might be a powerful monetization tool, I want to prove that love can exist just for the pure, simple fact that it's love. It's not about the money. It's not about being famous. It's not about making a name for yourself. It's not about, glorifying ourselves. It's all about glorifying God and glorifying the beautiful gift of love that God gives us, and how love on its own can be such an amazing conquering force. And when people come together in love and spread love together, like it just amplifies. It's just like it's contagious. Just like drama is contagious. Love is contagious too. And the more people that are glorifying that love and putting that love out there, that's the love of Christ, like it's amazing the ripple effect that occurs when that happens. So it's just wow. Like, and I like just the seeing the impact in my own life when I shifted from, being I used to do content before, back way back on Facebook. I used to do lives on there, but my message wasn't as positive as it was now. It was very rooted much in like self-reflection and self-ego, and like really like putting myself out there as just this powerhouse of a person, when really it was always the Lord, the strength of the Lord, not myself. So this is all for the glory of God, none for myself. I'm just glad that you guys get to join me on this journey. And that is just, as I just looked at the clock there, I was at 33 minutes and 33 seconds recording time, and I just like big threes there. I love the threes because of the Holy Trinity, the Father, the Son, the Holy Ghost. So just looking, glancing over and seeing my recording time at 33 minutes and 3 seconds, that was just like a huge confirmation for me that this is good work. This is good works for the Lord. And I'm kind of taking note of a lot of the animals. I mean, I've got so many animals already that have spawned. Like finding animals for the farms, I don't even have to spawn them. Like there's chickens running around, there's cows running around, there's all kinds of wonderful farm animals running around that I already can pick up when I'm ready to get those. Because I'm gonna have stables, of course, and the barn is gonna have plenty of animals in it, and I really, there are a couple of really awesome villages that are nearby. As you've seen earlier, I connected a path. to them already, one of them already, but there's a couple of villages nearby, which is really great because I want to have like entire communities that are attached with the church as like the main focal point in the middle of this build, and everything just kind of builds around the church. And everything will be connected. Like every part of this world in Minecraft is going to have a path. There's going to be direction. There's going to be signs. And you will be able to travel all over the map and see amazing things everywhere you go, whether that be in the sky or whether that be on the earth or whether that be deep in the underground or under the ocean. There's going to be something. And there, of course, there will be certain areas, like just like in the real life, we'll have parks and we'll have certain areas that are, especially like the breathtaking, stunning landscaping of some of these builds around us. So here's one of those villages I was talking about. And see, I just built the path connecting directly into that village. And I do want to remodel the village and make it a more, not so vanilla, so to speak, a vanilla Minecraft, and make them just more popping. For the villagers got to have a nice home too, right? I know that's like a big Minecraft joke or big running Minecraft joke about picking on the villagers and everything, but I'm here to love on them villagers too and give them a nice home and let them know, hey, we appreciate you villagers because you're a part of this game and we need you guys to be a part of this game so we can trade and barter and do things with. And I know sometimes you guys can get a little, frustrating, those big old Squidward noses. But I just want to say we appreciate you villagers and what you do and the role that you play in Minecraft. So I want to take care of my villagers just like I want to take care of anybody else, even if they're an NPC. They very much are part of the game. And that being said, I know that sounds so silly, and I bet it does sound silly, but hey, I love the villagers. And I'm going to sit here and I'm going to say it hashtag support the villagers. If you agree with supporting the villagers and you want to see equal treatment and love to the villagers, give me that hashtag support the villagers. Or hashtag we love the villagers. Hey, there we go. I like that one. Hashtag we love villagers. There we go. That's the one. That's what we're sticking with. Hashtag we love villagers. So and I see, as I'm putting in a lot of stairs, and these, like I said, this is all just the basic stuff, just to get an idea of where I want things to go, the flow I'm going for. Like right now, where I'm at right now is a stairway going up to this little top of the hill. And as you notice, I got light boxes, frog lights going into the water here. And that's because I want to build like a little dock here. I want to build like a little platform that goes out. Just a nice little, because as you see, this is a little watering hole there. It could be like a little fishing spot, or it could just be like a water access. Probably maybe put a well there. That way the farms have access to water, and there's like a well that goes to it. It's just an idea. Like I said, I always appreciate input. I always appreciate other people's ideas and what we can do as a community and building together. That being said, I just really want to take this moment to say thank you everybody for being here. And if you're still awake and you're still coming in, and because I've just been talking nonstop, and I'm all about being real. Like a lot of people would have probably edited out the whole me coughing earlier, but I'm real. I'm just being honest with you. I coughed, big whoop. So if that bothers you, I apologize, but that's just me being me, and I wouldn't see myself being different for anybody or anyone. I always agree that we should be exactly who we are always meant to be, and because that's one of the best ways we ever glorify God in our lives is by being authentic, by being what God has called us to be, and allowing God to see our rawness and who we are, and using our weaknesses for His strength and His glory. There was, like when I first started doing ministry, right? I I was not as knowledgeable in the Bible itself as most ministers would be. And that kind of like bothered me when the Lord called me to go on a live and minister. I was like, Lord, I'm not ready. I'm not ready to go in and start talking about your scriptures and all that. I was just barely and be able to even like answer questions that people would have. So it was like a real big leap of faith for me to like even be able to like get on and like even try to minister the word. But there's a lot of references in Mark and Matthew and the book of Luke that the Lord tells us, don't worry about what to say. Just show up and then the Lord will speak through you. And I relied heavily on that. And I didn't have any followers. My TikTok account's not even 2 months old. And I had no followers really. I had maybe a handful. And I get on live and everything went really well. And now, it's not even 2 months later and I've got like 1,400 subscribers. And same deal with my YouTube here. Like this YouTube account is not very old at all. It's not even 2 months old. And like I just started posting the music the Lord was giving me, and I was nervous about it, of course, because some of it was really in the beginning, a lot of it was really dark. And I understood that like, as a broken man, like how do you relate to people? Well, you share your songs and stuff. So obviously, I'm gonna put that disclaimer there that like some of my earlier music, it does have some profanity in it. So parents, I will just flag this video as not for children, even though it's wholesome content. Eventually, I'm gonna have a second channel that's devoted strictly for Minecraft. So please, parents, if you allow your kids to be on YouTube, and not parent kids YouTube, and you allow them to be on like this side of YouTube, just advising that my channel on some of those songs and the earlier songs does have some profane language in it. So just being honest and transparent there, it's up to the parents here to make sure that their kids are getting the right kind of content. And I'd like to reflect that music is testimony. It's all testimony. Now, a lot of my newer stuff is all about God and Jesus Christ, because that was the whole transformative process that I had to go through. Anyway, that being said, I really just kind of want to dive back into like what I'm really trying to accomplish here and what I'm trying to do here in Minecraft. And that's to bring that wholesome content to Minecraft, to bring that love of Jesus Christ. And what I really am want to build here is an entire community. So once again, like right now, I'm just working on the dirt paths and putting in all the stairs and all that. I'm just kind of doing like a real basic thing here, and to really kind of get the interconnectedness of all the builds that I want to do. So I'm going to start out simple. As you see, I'm just putting these pathways in, getting everything connected, and then the areas that I have the frog lights that are stacked, those are building concepts and ideas. I want to get like the basic necessities down before I make this a survival realm. And I know like people are like, well, what is that? Why would you want to do that? What's that kind of defeats the purpose of like a survival realm? I was like, well, my biggest thing here is I want to open up creativity for new players, especially for new players who are struggling with the concept of survival. And like being thrown into, I get that, us older guys, we love the challenge of being thrown into a survival world and having to figure, start out from scratch and, going through that whole thing. But I want anyone to be able to come in and have access to the basic things they need, like food, water, shelter, basic tools. I mean, there'll be like a wood farm and a couple farms, so everyone has food. And not only that, but you have a community here that's willing to teach and guide people, especially new players into Minecraft and the younger people, to how the basic things that you need to focus on when you do enter a survival world or do one of those 100-day challenges, or because those are really big videos I always enjoyed watching, or like the 100-day challenges, like hardcore 100-day challenge where it's just like are the one block and being able to survive hardcore like that. I've always really enjoyed those challenge videos because it really does challenge people to be creative and like what's the most effective ways to go about being able to survive in those types of worlds. And I feel like this is a really good stepping stone for a lot of new players. And I think it's just a really good place for even veteran players just to take a break from the hardcore challenges and to be able to just kick back, relax, hang out with other people, talk, get to know each other, and just build, just to build, and not have that stress of the hardcore challenge. Now, don't get me wrong, like I'm only doing the starting zone here. I'm going to get like the church put down, chapels, a couple fishing areas, farms, barns, stuff like that. The basics, very basics here. A mine put in, a couple forges, etc. But as far as everything else goes, that's going to be all up to the community and us working together as a community. So if we got a massive project that needs to be done, that's going to take teamwork. Everyone's going to have to pitch in, or someone's going to have to put the time in themselves and go and mine all the material and gather all the material they need to be able to commit to these builds. And it's going to take working together to really accomplish some of these things. And that's what I feel is the real challenge here. any one single person could go commit hours and hours and hours into a build and being able to accomplish it themselves. But when a team, like what really is challenging for me, I notice with people, is teamwork and getting a group of like-minded individuals to come together and commit to a project together and work together without getting in the way of each other's creativity or stepping on each other's toes or, being an affront to one another. And to me, that is more of a challenge than some of these 100-day challenge videos, is getting a group of people to work together and really just kind of stick with the general idea and the general plan that's been put into motion. And when you can get a community that's really good and strong in doing that, you can be absolutely amazed at what could be accomplished. I was in a world once, and we were clearing out an area for a basement under a castle. And this was like 30 blocks deep by like uh, I want to say like 200 by it was massive. It was absolutely massive. This is a solid chunk of underground dirt and rock and this isn't a survival world. And it took a group of like 5, 6 people intermittently getting on at different times or together at certain times of just non-stop mining. Just mining for like it took 2 weeks, I believe, of just everyone mining and the amount of material that had to be sorted and organized that came from that project. It was crazy, but the fact that they were able to get a group of people together to commit to that project. Could you imagine how long it would have took a one individual to do that? And that was literally just um, getting the area mined out so you could have an area to build. Now, me personally, I'm not against clearing out massive areas and having a nice flat plain to work on and build from. But me personally, I really love to integrate my builds into the landscape. I feel like to me that's more of a challenge in my own personal book to be able to integrate that build into a mountainside or nestle it into the plains and the rolling hills and stuff like that, and to really bring to like make it look like it's a part of nature rather than like cut out of nature and placed there. I'm not saying that like that doesn't look good for other people's builds. I absolutely enjoy all sorts of creativity and what people do. That being said, that's just me personally. I like to incorporate my builds into nature as much as I possibly can. Like you see, you notice here, like when I'm these pathways I'm putting in, these dirt paths, I'm putting in stairs to cross. And I'm not just clearing out massive areas to make everything flat and level. Now, this is like me going around now, just kind of like checking out some of the areas nearby, getting an idea. But this is when I first started going around and looking, and I didn't really want to get lost just yet because I didn't put any markers up. And this is me, like I was like, okay, I really want to just expand here, and I want to put a bridge in, but not just like a regular bridge. It's just gonna go straight, on the X or Y axis. I want to do a diagonal, so this is me like, okay, I'm gonna put a diagonal bridge in. So this is me just kind of marking it out, where I want it to be. Don't mind how ugly it is. It's just a marker because, like I said, this is such an extensive project that I have to put markers in to be able to remember what I'm going to be doing and what I'm going to be working on. Because this is going to take, especially by myself, this is going to take weeks and weeks of just dedication to be able to get the foundations that I want. And that doesn't, I'm not saying like nobody can't join in until after it goes into a public realm. I would be more than happy to, you can add me on my Microsoft or my Xbox, like I'm Sunrise Poet on there, and you can just look me up and if I'll put it down in the description too as well of the video. But you're more than welcome to add me, and I can invite you into this world, and you can be on with me and helping me out and build. If anyone wants to be in here during the foundational period to help me get the foundations down and help me come up with ideas with the foundation, you're more than welcome to come in and like help me out. And if that's something you feel called to do, don't worry if you don't want to do that. There's no pressure whatsoever. I have no problem doing this myself. To me, it's like it's just a really nice way to wind down after the day and just like really have a moment to express myself creativity and just like really let out some frustrations and turning it into something positive. And that's the beauty about me for Minecraft for me is I was all into like the more violent games growing up like Halo and Call of Duty and uh, zombie games like Left 4 Dead, and even games like Dark Souls and other, games like, I'm not saying they're bad games or anything. They're not. They're not bad games. They're really fun games actually, but the premises behind them all the time was unaliving people or unaliving things or whatever. And me personally, like I just kind of grew out of it. Like I'm not saying that I wouldn't find those games fun still because I do. It's just I find a lot more pleasure and joy being able to take my daily like frustrations in life and being able to transform it into something that's creative and like beautiful instead. So that's when I've really found myself just like gravitating to, simulation, creation, building games. Like originally I didn't even start on Minecraft. I started a game called Dragon Quest Builders 2. And maybe I'll do like a quick recap video on just some of the things I've built there in that world. In Dragon Quest, I mean, oh my goodness, I built some really nice stuff in that game. But I mean, don't get me wrong, the game is wonderful. It's got really good graphics and like some of the things just look better than Minecraft. But Minecraft has so much more you can do with it. Like don't get me wrong, you can stick to just the regular building blocks, but that's just it. Minecraft has so many more building blocks. Now, this is a suggestion I would love to offer out to Minecraft, just to like really kind of like bring out the game, but also that would kind of change the game a bit, and I guess take away from its original flavor. But Dragon Quest 2 always had like really nice pre-made like furniture pieces, like an actual bed. It has the polygons and the graphics of a bed rather than a cube. Obviously, in Minecraft, you have to you have beds in Minecraft, yeah, but a lot of people like specific things. I'm trying to think of a good example here. There's just a lot of different like wardrobes and stuff like that. There's preset furniture items in that game that look really beautiful and have really nice design to them. And a lot of people, but also what's cool about Minecraft is I've seen some really cool like beds, like homemade beds that people can build a bed into, like build around into a bed, or like really cool like couch ideas, like other types of really interesting furniture that they can make. And that's just going off the cube, the cube concept here in Minecraft. And that's really cool that people can find ways to like make really cool furniture. I've seen really nice benches on here. I've seen really cool like just furniture that's been made out of just these blocks. And I guess that really just brings forth more creativity in the realm of Minecraft even. So that being said, that was what started me into like simulation building games. And honestly, I was always like into Minecraft. I always wanted to try it for a long time, and I just I got in. I remember trying it, and I went straight into the survival realm, survival game, and I was just like, oh, I don't know, man. Like, there's a lot to learn, a lot of different like ways to go about building and how blocks work together on top of trying to survive. And I just kind of fell out of it for a while until I met a group of people that were willing to teach me. And here we go, getting like a better back look at the main areas. Here's like the main steps going up into the church here. And then this is me, I'm like putting into the dirt path that's gonna go up on top of this hill here. This was like an afterthought. I was like, you know what? I just don't like this is just like blocked off. And this is one of my diagonal paths I'm putting in. Because I don't want everything to just be X and Y. I want it to be a mix of everything. There's so many different creative ideas that come together. And so this is me just putting that pathway going up here. But there, as you can see, is part of the church. And as you can tell, I record over these because I get really into building and like really hyper focused on what I'm doing when I'm building. So I like to record it and then I'll come back and then I do the commentary over it. I know there are, like YouTubers that do it while they're doing it. And me personally, I just rather focus on what I'm doing at the time so I can really just like have that creative energy focused on something. And then I can come back and I can usually remember what I was doing and all that, and I can commentary about what I was doing and what my thoughts were in my head at the time. That's easier for me to do than trying to quote unquote do it while I'm doing it, if that makes sense. So yes, these are commentaries, just to disclose that. This isn't me actually talking while I was doing it, but I can definitely remember key moments of things I was doing and what I was thinking about when I was doing it. And this was just me like, okay, I'd rather put a diagonal staircase in here and then just like a traditional one. As you can see, like I'm not like the master builder over here. I have to play around with things sometimes just to remember how they flow and how to like see. I didn't like how that one block stuck out over the rest of the steps there. So like, okay, I need to take out another piece of dirt here. That way this flows better. And now that it's flowing better, I'm a lot more happy with it. So that being said, it's just how it goes. Sometimes you got to play around. You got to see what flows, what goes together. And that's really what I like about Minecraft is just playing around and I really feel like this space would open up that for people to just have that ability to come in with little to no experience when it comes to Minecraft and being able to just play around and see how things work and see how it kind of blocks and be able to talk to other builders and get ideas and concepts from
So
them and
that
just
being
grow
said,
from it. This is, like I said, it's going to be a giant project that's being undergone there. And I would really just love to have all people from all different walks of life be involved with this sort of project because I really feel like, because the Lord calls us to unify under nations and to like spread the word of gospel all across the nations. And I feel like this is just a really amazing opportunity for people to come all over from all over different parts of the world. And that's the beauty of the internet. When I was a kid, that was like one of the best things I liked about the internet. The first things I really, really enjoyed about the internet when I first discovered it as a kid back in the 90s is that you could connect to people all over the world. And you could hear all different types of stories and about what different things that people go through in their lives and what the kind of living situations they have in different parts of the world. And it really just paints a much broader perspective of what everybody goes through when it comes to, different living in different parts of the world and being born in different parts of the world and the different challenges and the different kind of accomplishments we all face when we, come from different walks of life. I had a friend back when I was younger who was over in Germany, and just like the way they live over in Germany was so much different than here. And then like I had a Chinese friend, and I think the way they lived was so much different. And I just thought it was really cool to hear about how differently people live all over the world. And like it really inspired me as a kid, like when I was in school, to be friends with all types of people in school. Like I was friends with all different types of cultures and all different types of races and creeds because I found out that the more I talked to them, the more I got to know them and spent time with them, that it really opened up my own mind to be a lot more accepting and a lot more appreciative of everyone that comes from different walks of life. And really starting to realize that, there is only one race, and that is the human race. We are all people, we're all children of God. And it doesn't matter where you come from or what you do or what you've been through. When we all come through Jesus, we all become brothers and sisters through Christ. We all become adopted into the same family of Christ when we all are born through Christ again. So it doesn't matter where you come from or what you do or what you've done or like who you were or what color you are or what religion you have or anything like that. I love you regardless of who you are and where you came from. Because to me, you're just another child of God. And all of us were wonderfully made. And all of us were wonderfully made different. And I really just appreciate that the Lord was able to do that, to be able to split tongues and be able to split colors and races and creeds and the fact that people can still come together despite all those differences and all the different things about them that people would usually see as separate, how they're all just another reflection of ourselves and other people. And if you had been born into that life and you had lived that life, then that's how you would be. That's all just the circumstance of your birth and where you were birthed at and who you were birthed to and who your mom and your dad was. For like myself, I was born here in the United States. I was born in Illinois, in the middle of the country, in one of the major crossroads of the country, Mount Vernon. So like I got to meet all kinds of people here because all people all from all over the states travel here. But that being said, I lived a life of traveling all over the place. My parents were property managers and they would go from different states and take over properties and make them like five-star quality places to live in. And it was really cool because we got to live in so many different neighborhoods, got to meet so many different types of people. and that just really furthered my respect for all different types of people in the world and where they come from, and how none of that actually matters through Christ, because we're all brothers and sisters, and we should all love each other like we're brothers and sisters. So that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of show everyone around, look at all, to getting an idea of where the paths are connecting and how I'm personally doing the foundations of this. And I'm just gonna kind of show you guys around a little bit and just kind of get like a really over here. This is where the mine's gonna go. That big pillar that's right there in the hole, and right there, yeah. That's gonna be where the mine is. And just like, yeah, I'm just gonna show you some bridges I'm gonna put over here that connect over to this area. And then all over here is gonna be more fields that kind of go into this village, this nice little village that just so happened to be very close to the spawn. That's gonna be part of the community as far as community housing goes. I'm gonna build a lot more houses over here. Here's the church, which I'm gonna expand on the church. There's a chapel, and I'm really gonna expand on that church and make it much bigger, which I've already started on doing that, and that'll be part of the next video. So I'm just gonna kind of further on a little bit here, put a couple more paths in, and just kind of let you guys enjoy the rest of the video. And yeah, God bless you guys. Thank you for being here. Thank you for tuning in, and I look forward to talking with you in comments, and hopefully more people will join in on this amazing project. I would love for you to be here. Thank you all, and God bless.